Welcome back, everybody, to another one of these vids because I have some doozies this week. Now, just before we start, I am once again not asking but demanding. You do not go and find these people and type, like, hey, your car mod's trash. I hope when you drive it, fire comes out of the vents and then you die, okay? We're laughing at car mods, okay? This is nothing to wish death or harm about. Alright, now we've all heard of the trend where people camber their wheels way too dang far, thus making the thing look like it got elbow dropped by a humpback whale. I have no idea why, but this is a surprisingly common trend. All fun and games until you hit a speed bump and it turns into that scene from Hellboy where he like punches the hood of the car and it flips over him. But you know what? At least that's only if you encounter a speed bump. Okay? Like I would still consider this car drivable. This next one, whatever they did to this Miata should be illegal. It probably is, honestly. Cause look at this thing. It is like a stack of 4 quarters off the ground. Okay? This thing will scrape on a road reflector. Heck, maybe it'll be like a skateboard. You encounter a rock that's just a little too big and this thing is just gonna go flying. Actually, you know what? I take back what I just said because look at this picture. It looks like they took this in a park on some sort of. It's definitely not just a normal paved road. It's like loose gravel. So either this person who did this has like a 200 IQ and I'm just being a hater and they absolutely know what they're doing, or the underside of this thing looks like you fed a cat bath salts and it used it as a scratching post. Now, I will give points for the scissor doors. That's respectable, those are cool to see. However, can we just take a look at that front tire? Did they bend this part of the car in order to make that tire fit? Look at that gap, like right under the headlight. That's another thing that's always surprises me about this mod. It's never like they get the car super cambered and they're like, yeah, that's good. They're always like, we need to go deeper. I want this thing French kissing the floor, and I do not care if I have to bend its body like Play-Doh to achieve that. Now, granted, this is better than that one car that we looked at in the first episode of this series. It's the very last car where they're rolling up to the gas station, and oh, my brain is breaking just remembering this. They had to take the rear wheel off to get to the gas tank. Y'all need to see this. I'm gonna replay the footage.
This could be your year. Make an old man proud of you. Forget about the tears.
So yeah, points for not being the absolute worst thing that we've seen. Alright, next car. Now, speaking of controversial mods, putting big tires on cars. Now, in my opinion, this can work, especially on trucks, okay? Some trucks, they just look right with those big chunky tires. Now, what's harder to make work is those big tires on just normal looking cars, okay? So it's something about the proportions, I think, it just tends to look a little off. Case in point, this Mustang here, especially where here, they had to lift the car up a bit, so it just looks a little funny. It reminds me of, those big platform shoes that some people wear. It's like if you wore those, but you didn't style any other part of your outfit to work with the shoes. So instead of having a cohesive outfit, it just looks like you're walking around with like Nickelodeon moon shoes. Like, let me know in the comments, do you think there's a way, like if you changed up the body of this Mustang, do you think you could make it look good with these wheels? Because I do feel like there's a chance if you get the right visionary on the project, you could get something passable. Now, as you can imagine, Mustangs are not the only cars that are getting this treatment. Here we have a Prius just chilling, minding its own business, just cruising down the road with these wheels on. I've never seen one of these in motion, and it's truly an experience now that I've got my eyes on it. And am I seeing things, or does it have like a little light bar on it too? Actually, I have another question. For the Prius and the Mustang that I just showed you, would they look better with these wheels or with like big donks? Because I don't know if I've just seen so many donks, I've like gaslit myself into thinking they're not the worst thing ever, but I feel like donks would actually suit these cars better. Yeah, and I did say that you can make chunky tires work on trucks, but you have to, try, like you have to be tasteful about it. Otherwise, you get results like this. Just look at how high this thing is off the ground. It almost looks like a monster truck. You know how high they are? It's like they had the budget to get the super mega lift kit, but along the way they realized, oh, we have to get wheels that make this look right, and they just couldn't find them, so they had to go with what they had. Now, I'm no car expert or a physicist, but do you think this thing has a much higher chance of getting rolled over? I don't know. Since we're already modding this truck, I feel like sticking a roll bar in there would probably be a good idea, just to be on the safe side. How do you even get on this thing, I wonder? Do you just have to leap up there, or is there some sort of mechanism, like when you open the door, like some little stairs come down, and then you can step on those and climb in there? Oh yeah, and speaking of monster trucks and big tires, someone out there caught a glimpse of this thing at a gas station, and there's just a lot going on here that we need to unpack. First off, I just need you to stare at this thing's the rear tires, just so we can experience it together. Just let it soak into your eyes. This might be a dumb question, but can you even drive this tire on public roads? Like, ignore the rest of the car. It's just this tire specifically. Can you do that? I feel like you wouldn't even be able to park with this thing on your car. All right, now moving to the front. Why do they just have normal wheels? Like among this entire like Mad Max creature, it just has normal. It's like a dream where your brain starts making a car in your head, and then midway through, it forgets what car it was trying to make before, so it just does something completely different. Except since it's a dream, it like somehow makes sense until you wake up and you're like, man, what was I on last night? Oh yeah, and now for the grill here. Do you think this thing scrapes on the ground? I feel like it actually has a better chance of going unscathed than that one car that's like cambered so that it no clips into the pavement. But still, man, you better hope you don't accidentally hit curbs in this thing. Actually, forget about curbs. Hitting a speed bump must be absolutely tragic. However, I will give points for not doing the Carolina squat where they like tilt the car backwards. Because genuinely, I worry about the people that do that to their cars. Actually, I don't even worry about them. I worry about everybody that they're on the road with. Alright, next car. So here's a Volkswagen Passat I have here. Nice hot pink color. Now listen, I don't have a problem with hot pink cars. I would never drive one, but I understand the appeal. But we're just gonna, can I enhance this image real quick? As you can see, it seems like they wrapped this car in like hot pink duct tape. Now listen, I understand trying to make do with what you have. You wanted a hot pink car. But was this really the best option we had here? I feel like there had to have been something else that we could have done. Granted, considering the assignment, they did a lot better than I would have done. You know what? Points for dedication. They really put they really went in on this. All right, from one wrap to another, we have this car right here. Now, the okay, I'm gonna ignore the grass on top of the car because that's there for some reason. I just need to ask, what is going on with the white parts? Look at the faces. It looks like Soul Sand from Minecraft, but like dyed white. Do any of y'all know what's going on here? Is this like some sort of ancient charm that I don't know about? Like if you draw a bunch of faces on something, is it supposed to ward off evil? Like those eye beads that ward off the evil eye? Actually, scratch that. I feel like this thing would give you the evil eye. I just have so many questions. What material did they even use? Oh yeah, moving on to the rims. I'm gonna be honest. I understand the vision and I kind of respect it, but I do think they needed some to put some more time in this. They didn't stick the landing exactly. You can see the paint job is a little. It could use some work. And yet, moving on to the roof of the car. I'm pretty sure we've seen other cars with fake grass strapped to them. I don't understand the vision at all, guys. I just don't know. Maybe one of y'all can enlighten me out there, because I want to know. I want to get in y'all's head so I can understand the choices that you make. Like, not even being mean. I want to understand your creative process. Actually, I just remembered something. Do y'all know what Google Deep Dream is? It's you run images through the program, and then through some wackiness, it creates faces and of animals and people in the images that weren't there before. It's like mid car wash. Like they had the soap all over the car, and then somebody took a pic of it, ran it through Deep Dream, and then somebody saw that image and decided, hey, I'm gonna engrave the Deep Dream faces into the car in real life. I think I'm gonna end the video now and maybe burn some sage in here just in case.